Geometry students, hey, Mr. Zacek here, back better than ever in Unit 4, excuse me, Lesson 5-1, and we're going to do 5-2 as well in this same video, so we got to get cranking here. The first thing we want to do is construct a parallel line to a given line that passes through a point not on the line. So if you look at this diagram here, we have a line and then we have point P that is not on the line. So the very first thing you're going to do is, with a straight edge, you're going to draw a line that goes through point P and intersects the transversal. Now, just from my experience, this is a little bit easier if your line doesn't, it's not perpendicular. It's a little bit easier to do it if you have a little bit of an angle here. So this angle down where the line is an acute angle. And now what we're going to do is, using our knowledge of the construction of copy and angle, we're going to create parallel lines. So I'll show you how to do that. Well, if you'll recall, when we copy an angle, the first thing that we do is we want to swing a reference arc. Now let's have that reference arc be somewhere below point P, and it intersects both sides of this angle. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to swing that same reference arc up here. So that was step one of copying an angle. Swing a reference arc. Now, step two, if you'll recall, is measure the opening of that reference arc. So what's a little bit different is I'm gonna put my compass point. You can see where the compass point is, and I'm gonna measure the opening, and we see that that's how far open it is. And now I'm just gonna, whoops, don't do that. Now I'm gonna transfer the compass up here to this intersection point, and we have a new point here, and that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to take our straight edge now and we're going to connect those 2 points here. Now, one of the deals with the parallel line construction is, this is the one that sometimes it's hard. There's a lot of error, so it can look like it's not parallel. Okay, and we have parallel lines. And so really, what did we just construct here? Well, we just constructed congruent corresponding, let me write that again, congruent corresponding angles. Okay, and that's one of the properties of parallel lines. If two lines cut by a transversal such that corresponding angles are congruent, this one congruent to this one, then the two lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time for you, and then I'll leave one for you to practice here as well. So again, we're going to start by taking a straight edge, and we're going to draw a transversal, and I want it to have a little bit of kind of form an acute angle with the line. I don't want it to be you know, straight up and down. That will just, from experience, makes things work a little easier. Okay, so I'm going to swing my reference arc. I'm going to move my point up to A, and I'm going to swing the same size reference arc. Okay, now I'm going to come down and I'm going to measure the opening of that, which in this case it happens to be just about exactly the same. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to swing that same arc. And now through that intersection point here, I'm going to use my straight edge and connect those two lines. Okay, and again, this one, sometimes this line tool is a little hard to get it to go exactly through, but we've just constructed a line parallel to the given line by constructing congruent corresponding angles. Okay, so construct a line perpendicular to a line through a point on the line. All right, now that we've done this one before, and we didn't actually do the notes on it, but we did it in assignments. So let's just kind of read through. Place your compass point at P and sweep an arc of any size that crosses the line twice. So we just open it up, any size, it just has to intersect the line. So here and here. And now what have we done? We've created P as the midpoint. So we're going to place the compass point where it crosses, at that cross, okay? And we're going to open this compass up larger, and we're going to swing an arc here. Doop. Then we're going to come over to the other side, and we're going to swing the arc here. Now we actually don't need to go above and below in this instance. We could go above and below, but we don't need to go above and below, and because we already have our 2 points with the midpoint. If we didn't have the midpoint, then we would need to do it above and below. But that's the perpendicular bisector construction idea there. So since we've done a bunch of those with different assignments and things, I'm not going to do the extra ones, but you can practice those. Please go ahead and do those on there. And here is one that's new. And so for this one, construct a perpendicular to a line from a point off the line. So that's the key idea here, is the point is off the line now. So let's read our steps. Step 1, place your compass point on P and sweep an arc of any size that crosses the line. Okay, so I need the compass to go, below the line. So this one, that setting looks like it'll work. Okay, and now from those 2 points, so from this point here and this point here, we're going to kind of do the bottom part of a bisector, and you may need to adjust the compass setting. In this case, I don't need to. So we go here, and we come over here, and we got to get that other intersection. Okay. And now we've got our point, that intersection point. And so we're going to take our straight edge, and we're going to come down through that point and through our intersection point, and we have just created a perpendicular line through a point not on the line. So there we have it there. Let's do it again. Okay, let's come down here and do one more just so you can see it. So again, the goal here is we want to construct a perpendicular line. So I'm going to check my compass setting. I'm going to open this up a little bit more because I want it to hit the line at 2 points. Okay. And so those 2 points are here and here. Okay. Now I want the compass, I'm going to bring it down to those 2 points of intersection, and I'm going to get it on this side and come over here on this point. We'll bring it down here. Okay, and then I'm going to take, we'll just move that out of the way. I'm going to take this and I'm going to come down, and this is like, compass error a little bit here, tensile thickness and stuff. Okay, so we have a perpendicular line there with that. All right, so this is a really important one. It's going to be used in other scenarios and such. All right, so what I'm going to do actually is stop the video at this point, and we'll do a second video for the next part of this lesson here. So good luck with these, and make sure you practice the extra ones and make meaning of it for yourself. Write your own steps kind of on how to do this.